Good evening. Just a couple of people jump on. Hope you guys are all doing well. Just gonna wait and see if anybody wants to jump on this Thursday evening. A few subjects that I wouldn't mind talking about. So much going on. I will start with a video I recently put up about AC coming back to life. Ladyx, who all you well might know. He's a strong pillar of the community, and he's done a heck of a lot catching child predators and keeping them sort of people away from our children. But he recently done an interview. I call her Ladyx to keep the identity hidden. That went through harrowing times. Well, because of her daughter, and her daughter fell short of the clutches of the hands of a predator, dangerous predator at that, our state people. And to hear what was being said, and what that lady, and more so her daughter, went through, sickening, very sickening, to the way that a predator out there targeted her daughter. He then went on to groom the young girl. It didn't stop there. This is like one of the worst case stories I've ever heard. He then went on to groom the young girl, and Sorry about that, guys. Right, where was I? Yes. The Ladyx case, yes. So I got to the point where it's one of the most harrowing stories I'd ever heard. As regard to predators, where the guy went on to groom the girl, kidnapped her, raped her, and subsequently from that, I do believe that there was a pregnancy as from this predator, and I think unfortunately the young girl in question was finding it very, very hard to live with the fact of what had happened, and subsequently the mum did make a few statements, and the one that stuck out most was the mum of the young girl had said that it was her good looks that killed her. Howard. It just goes to show you guys that, you know, all of these predator hunter groups, you know, they are doing the right thing, you know, and we desperately do need the good predator hunter teams, because there is a massive influx, a massive problem to do with predators, grooming gangs up and down the UK. Right, the link's there. If anybody wants to jump on, I'll just be having a quick hour just to go over, you know, what's happened over the past week. And then you've got Tommy R, who all you had to know what he's about. Held a rally, if that's what you want to say, in London. As regards to another incident happened in Southport. Now, in this instance, you've got immigrants up and down the UK that have swamped our shores, and unfortunately, 3 children was on life for one of these people that we actually let over. Government needs to start doing checks on the asylum seekers that they're letting over. At the moment, they're letting over any bit of riffraff, and look exactly what's happened. You know, as a result, 3 children plus have been on life due to an immigrant who decided to clutch a knife and go on a rampage, on life in our children. Pretty hard to imagine, isn't it, really? You know, if you was there at the time, you know, imagine the amount of trauma, you know, the amount of fear, especially those children that survived, or those children that hadn't been attacked. Imagine what's going through their mental state of mind as a child, having to see an adult rushing in with a weapon and using it upon the children. I can't even begin to imagine, what that would actually feel like. So putting yourself in society now, everything in this country's gone tits up. The only people that can sort this country now is government. Stringent checks on who's coming over. You don't know what walk of life they're coming from. You don't know what background they've got. And how much more of this have people got to endure and take? I think it's shocking. Which, from the events of poor children being on life, left at the hands of government. Okay, we're a multicultural country, but at the same time, the people that we're letting over have got no background checks done on them. And I think it's a crying shame. The government's just, allowed these guys over. The stuff that's happened this week, guys, and, going on in the news, I think it's so hard to take in. And then just touching upon an athlete from the Netherlands who entered into the Olympics, knowing full well of the charges that he's got in his past as regards to raping children. 19 and the young child was 14, and they've actually overlooked his criminal past and let him into the Olympics. That's mind-boggling, guys. Now I'm glad they banned him, they kicked him out of the Olympics. They've done the right thing, but that just goes to show you where's the checks being done, guys. Don't you think that people that want to enter into the Olympics, don't you think that checks also should be done on them? And it's time now that government tightened up this country, tightened up our borders. We don't know who the hell government are letting over. Because one thing I guarantee you, not one of them MPs, would ever listen to you or me. They'll go ahead, and they'll do what they want to do. When people say that you get a vote, you don't really get a vote. That's just formalities. But one thing I have learned from this week has been a fucking tragic week, guys. Massively tragic. And when's it going to stop? When's the government going to realise? We might well be doing good by letting them come over, because they're in a war-torn country and they've got their own problems at home. But when we're not doing any checks, how the hell are we supposed to know who they are? They could change their name, change their date of birth, change their age. And, government over in this country wouldn't have a clue exactly who these guys are. I mean, when's government stand up and take account How many more deaths of children is it going to take for this country to be united as one? Once upon a time, a granddad used to explain to me, it's Great Britain. Great. At the moment, it's just Britain. The great has been taken away by so much tragedy, that's happened. And, this week alone should open your eyes, people, to how dangerous it really is out there. Our children deserve better. As parents, we can do everything we can. As Southport's shown in, maybe the second worst incident of immigrants, coming over and disrespecting the country and, abusing our children, hurting our children, killing our children. The borders need to be shut. This ain't nothing about race. We can't be looked at as bad people. When we're actually standing up for unlife children in our country. So I feel, government needs to step up now. We're not a racist country no more. Just because we go against something that somebody else's religion don't allow them to, it don't mean that we're racist in one little bit. Just because people want to stand and say, look, enough's enough. Shut the borders, or at least, do more checks on people. Well, I leave that there for your thought, guys. I know from where I'm sat, a lot of things need to change. A heck of a lot of stuff needs to change. This is probably one of the worst weeks, of tragic news. It's just sad to think, that this is what the country's boiled down to. We're too scared to speak up because of being called racist. But then what they got to remember, guys, we were good enough to, to let these asylum seekers in. So therefore, how can anyone be branded racist? Because, they're sticking up for a couple of tragedies that have happened. It's madness, guys. Just going to check something quickly. Right, guys, so the link's there. If anybody wants to jump on and have a little rant with me. But, tragic week. My thoughts only go out to Ladyx as regards to her unlicensed daughter at the hands of a very dangerous predator. Why should we be looked at racist? Because we stand, and because government should be chucking checks down on these people left, right, and centre. It's government that's supposed to protect this, and also to think that this guy that unlifed the 3 children was on the watch list of MI6. So that means he'd already had links to terrorist cells, maybe. or radicalized people. Because you don't just get on MI6's watch list for nothing, guys. You have to be active. Had checks have been done, would it have saved the 3 children's lives? I would say definitely yes, it would have gone to help to solve. Maybe MI6 should have stepped in a lot sooner. Where they say they're on the watch list, but really, do they get watched? Maybe this is a prime example to prove that they don't. So being on the watch list, but yet they know how radicalized this individual was. Maybe MI6 should have picked up on it a lot sooner. Well, the link's out there, guys. If you want to jump on, then jump on, guys. The link's there for you. Just having a general chit-chat conversation as regards to, what's been going on in the UK over the past 7 days. It's pure tragic what's happened. Who's to blame? Well, probably we know where the blame lies. But is that going to change anything? We can shout till we're blue in the face. Unfortunately, government ain't going to listen to us. Not unless you get a petition out there and get 250,000 signatures, blah, 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 blah. When these are the sorts of things they should have put in place ages ago, years ago, when they start letting people over into the country seeking asylum, checks and backgrounds should have been done. So if MI6, this guy was on MI6's watch list, then that says to me they had an inkling. He should have been watched, if not a couple of times. So how is everybody on this Thursday afternoon? I just think it's bad. So regardless of who we want to vote in, or regardless of who thinks what, it'd be very nice to see what government's next move is going to be. Are they going to implement more checks? They're certainly not going to close the border. That's one thing we do know for sure. As they say, the influx of asylum seekers, brings money into the country. You haven't realised they're getting chucked into all these hotels, and there's no security whatsoever for the public. And if they seem to think they can come over here and carry on with what lifestyle they had in their own country, they're going to lead to more catastrophe. So they're going to lead to more tragedy. Probably going to lead to more unlived people, children. Links there, guys. If anybody wants to jump on, not necessarily going to stick to the subjects that I've just slightly covered. You can have a chit chat about anything, guys. But yeah, it needs to be said. You know, so many channels out there that are, you know, keeping everybody up to date with the tragedies that have happened. But now I'd like to see what safeguards that government is going to implement for the country as a whole. How many more children have got to be on life because of predators, because of extremists, because of radicalized people? No, I never get political. Stay away from politics. You know, but this is real. This is happening, guys, right underneath our noses. What was the officials at the Olympics thinking about allowing somebody with an SO offence getting to represent Netherlands as a country in the Olympics? Again, that's another one that slipped through the net. Again, I know that they've banned him now from the Olympics, which is great, but he should never have been there in the first place. Imagine all them children that he would have been around. People will say, no, he was 19 and the child was 14. It doesn't matter how long ago that they committed the offence. The fact of the matter that they let him into the Olympics in itself. So his government bent. Suppose we can all make our minds up on that. But for some reason, they don't want to get strict on predators and these asylum seekers that are coming over. When's the next tragedy going to happen? It will happen every single day until government can release and put more pressure or getting as much information as regards to who they're actually letting over to seek asylum. Good evening, Chungy. Hope you're doing well. Not seen you around before, but hope you're doing well. Just having a little rant, guys. You know, as regards to the tragic events. That's occurred over the past 7 days. Chungy, you've been banned from Westminster. The link's there if you want to jump on and come and have a chat and explain to me, you know, how you got banned from Westminster. Am I reading that right? You was banned from Westminster, or are you saying that one or two other people have been banned from Westminster? Link's there. You can jump on. You don't have to show your face. You can cut your camera off if you don't want your face getting on the screen. I don't give a shit anyway. So what happened, Chungy? I'll take it that. Oh, right. Let's have a look. Went to the march, but I started having a go at Israel, and my own people started turning on me. Madness, man. Yeah, but I did see from on the news, like, you know, they were arresting quite a few people. Maybe some people I noticed was getting dragged in. To me, they hadn't really done anything wrong. You know, they weren't violent towards the officers or anything like that. They kind of encaged them in the middle, and then they were just picking them out, I think willy-nilly, to arrest them. But it just goes to show you guys how much, government wants this not to get out into the news. Stoma made it illegal to march again. But it's okay for when they want to do counter protests. They'll be all allowed to do that.
Gaza
Let's put a two-tier fucking policing system. That's madness, guys. And it is happening. So again, government are trying to silence the people, making marches illegal. That's the only way that these people get to have a voice. Why should we have to gather by the hundreds, to have a protest or a rally, to get our point across? Why don't government listen to its people? That's what it's about. Money. That's one reason why they've let so many asylum seekers over, because government's looking at it as fucking money in their pocket. Take away all our hotels and that's all right, we've just housed them in these hotels, that'd be fine. But unfortunately, right, it's us as humans, that are forking the cost. So by them coming over, government's making so much goddamn money. But yet, us as citizens are the ones, that are having to pay for their stay up in all these hotels. I'm sure none of us signed up to say, right, we will allow a percentage of our wage, to go and house these, when number one, we've got ex-forces that have actually fought for our country to give us our freedom that are homeless. We've got our own homeless people, and I think that these asylum seekers are taking priority over our own veterans, taken out of the healthcare system. It's madness, guys. Absolute madness. And then they wonder why this country is going to end up in civil war. The uprising of the UK, because of all of this, what's been going on. It's not going to just end here, guys. This is in here for us for the long haul. Anyway, the link's there, guys. The link's there if you want to come on, have a rant at me. Or if you want to get your point across, feel free, to jump on the panel. Come and have your say, guys. It's just utter total chaos in this country. My heart goes out to Ladyx, for the courage. Imagine the courage it's taken, for her to let Alex AC coming back to life, to do a podcast, as regards to what had happened to her, and Such a brave lady to come forward and to tell her story. That must have took so much courage, to want the world to know what happened to her daughter at the hands of a predator. Maybe next week we might just hear the same sort of thing. That another incident's taking place. Touch wood, I pray that this sort of behaviour from asylum seekers stops. But and I know, that's not going to stop. They've come over here with one intention only. And that's to create harm, amongst us people and our children. So really, it hasn't just affected the parents of the children that have died. It's also affected them children, that was in that dance class at the time. Children are not supposed to be seeing adults with weapons in their hands, knives in their hands. Our children have never been brought up to, acknowledge that sort of behaviour. So just imagine the trauma, that they've had to witness. So I'd hate to think what one of them children, what their mind was going through at the time. They must have been petrified people. Because I hope to God that one of these asylum seekers have got children. I'd hate to live to see the day it happened to one of their children. I really would. And maybe then they'll realise, what they're doing is wrong. But I don't know, hold out much luck for that one. Come over here for one purpose and one purpose only. That's to disrupt our country, hurt our people, hurt our children. They've got no intentions of living correctly. And the people of this country, they're all shouting from the rooftop, enough is enough. How many more tragic events, right, have we got to go through, before government actually truly realise the full extent of these extremist people that are wanting to seek the goodness of what our country provides for us, the National Health Service. They're just basically coming over to take advantage of our good nature. And our government have got to now stand up, take a stand and account with us people. And they need to say that enough is enough. They have to. So many people covering these subjects on the ways of videos. And the more that, this can get out there, it's getting to us people, yes, but it's not getting to the right authority, high up people, that can make decisions in this country, and they can change rules and regulations. But they choose not to, because it's bringing money into the country. But is the price of a life worth bringing asylum seekers into the country? The media, the government, they can play it down as much as they want. It's not as if it's the very first incident. It's not as if it's the very first case. You know, you got Lee Rigby. You got that other soldier recently that got stabbed by an extremist. They're not admitting that just yet. But I bet my bottom dollar that, you know, he was part of an extremist group, a radicalized group of people. So that's two serving soldiers of our armed forces. There was other people around on the streets at the time, but the knifemen didn't attack any other willy-nilly people. They targeted soldiers. They targeted men that stand and fight for this country. So it was a targeted attack. They can't just say it was a lone wolf. None on them two separate occasions. Quite similarities between the recent soldier that got stabbed and Lee Rigby. Similarities. Lee Rigby's case, he didn't attack anyone else, just that individual soldier, and aimed and targeted our troop. And now you've got one that's come over and targeted children. Man, I don't know what to say anymore. You know, enough's enough. We've all done videos covering like certain little aspects and getting that awareness out there. You know, I know as hell government has definitely heard the voice of the people. That's why rallies and stuff like that will carry on in this country. You know, until government hear us. Well, the link's there, guys, if anybody wants to jump on. I will be wrapping it up round about the hour mark, I think. Madness, guys. Links there. Anybody wants to jump on? I was hoping Ladyx would have been around. You know, I'd love to get Ladyx to jump on and explain maybe a bit more on this Ladyx case that he done a podcast on. So just take a thought out of your day, guys. You know, and give some thought to the children that have been unlicensed this past week. So I've covered like one or two subjects there of my thoughts. as regards to what's been happening, what's been going on. Like I say again, guys, the links there. Jump on, come and let me know what you're thinking. But I thought I'd just take an hour out. I haven't done many lives over the past few months. I've been sorting out like one or two things in my life. So I'm going to slowly now start coming back on, doing some lives. I will be getting out there soon. I'm doing some content. I'm just waiting for my life to settle down a little. Still so much up in the air at the moment. When are we going to have good news to talk about? You know, when's the time going to come when, you know, we can be excited to come on and do a live, you know, and have something great and good, you know, to talk about. Too much tragedy in the world, guys. But yeah, if anybody wants to come on, we can have a chat about any subject. Doesn't have to be any of the listed what's in the title. Bobby, from the honest truth, are you about, sir? Probably on a, you know, a nice bright sunny day like this. Not many people are going to be in there. All going to be out. I got out there earlier today. Got a little bit of sun on me. Probably when I finish this live, I might go and sit in the garden, you know, for a couple of hours till the sun goes down. I've got a bit on my mind. That you know, I need to think over in my mind and straighten my head, you know, before I come back 100% better than what I was. But to cover subjects like this, it helps keep my mind off problems, issues that's going on in my real life, which one day I will sit down and you know, I'll do a full couple of hours as regards to, you know, what's been going on in my world. A couple of things that my mind had to overcome. You know, I'm sick of getting hurt. But the good man upstairs, you know, he said to me, he said, carry on. He said, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Well, that light I'm only starting to see a little glimmer of hope for me to, you know, get back to the old self of what I used to be on the back end of last year. bad people. I'm gonna. I was waiting to see if a couple of people want to jump on. Not much happening, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to bring this live to an end. Hope yourself, have yourself all a good evening, and let's see what tomorrow brings. Thanks for tuning in, guys.